A rich old man, Mr. Winston, sits at a table, sipping on expensive wine. A poor waitress, Sarah, nervously approaches to take his order. Good evening, sir. May I take your order?
Bring me your finest steak, cooked to perfection.
As Sarah delivers Mr. Winston's steak, he inspects it with anger.
What's your name, poor waitress?
My name is Sarah, sir.
Sarah? Is this how you serve your food? This steak is overcooked. I demand to speak to the manager.
I apologize for the inconvenience, sir. We will prepare you a new steak right away.
Perhaps you should consider hiring a better staff.
Sarah's cheeks burn with humiliation as she fights back tears. After Mr. Winston's departure, she approaches the manager with a trembling voice. Sir, I couldn't help but notice Mr. Winston's behavior towards me tonight was unacceptable. He insulted me and made me feel worthless. Sarah, unfortunately, Mr. Winston is one of our most valued patrons. We can't afford to upset him. I'm sorry, but I'll have to let you go. With a heavy heart, she collects her things and leaves the restaurant, vowing never to return. Sarah sits on the couch, her face streaked with tears, while her friend, Amma, sits beside her. Sarah, I'm so sorry to hear about what happened with your job. I worked so hard. Now I've got nothing. I'm not going to let Mr. Winston get away with treating me like dirt. I'm going to get revenge. That sounds risky, Sarah. Are you sure you want to go down that road? Absolutely. The two friends share a determined look for revenge against Mr. Winston. Sarah found a job in a branded cloth market as a salesgirl. One day, she encountered Mr. Winston, along with his son in her shop. She hides herself. Hi, Mrs. Evans. I saw Mr. Winston and his son in here earlier. His son seems like such a sweet person. Oh, yes, that's young Smith. He is the only child of Mr. Winston. He loves him so much. As Sarah leaves the boutique, a plan begins to take shape in her mind. She decides to use Smith against Mr. Winston to take revenge. Smith sits on a bench, a book in his hand as Sarah approaches, with a cunning expression. Hi there. Can I sit here?
Please, have a seat.
What are you reading?
Just a novel. It's one of my favorites.
What's it about?
It's a love story, actually. About two people who meet by chance and fall deeply in love.
Sarah begins to plant seeds of affection in Smith's heart, knowing that his innocence could be a powerful tool in her plan for revenge against Mr. Winston.
Dad, can I talk to you for a moment? Of course, Smith. What is it? Well, I wanted you to meet my new friend. She's really nice, and I think you'll like her. That's wonderful, Smith. I'd love to meet her.
Smith exits the room momentarily, returning with Sarah by his side.
Sarah, what are you doing here?
Oh, just paying a visit to my friend Smith. He's such a sweetheart.
What game are you playing, Sarah? Why are you here?
Oh, no game, Mr. Winston. Just a friendly visit to remind you of the consequences of your actions. Mr. Winston sinks into his chair, his face pale with shock and sadness.
Sarah, There's something I've been wanting to tell you for a while now.
What is it, Smith?
Sarah, I'm in love with you.
Sarah's heart swells with love and affection for Smith, but she hides her feeling. She decides to reply to Smith in front of Mr. Winston. Smith stands before Sarah, his heart pounding with nervousness, while Mr. Winston watches anxiously from nearby.
Sarah, I love you. You mean everything to me, and I can't imagine my life without you.
Sarah's heart aches with sympathy for Smith, knowing the pain her words will cause him. Smith, you're such a wonderful person, but I can't return your feelings in the same way. Mr. Winston watches the scene unfold with a mixture of sadness and concern, his heart breaking for his son.
Sarah, please. I understand that you have your reasons, but please don't break my son's heart like this.
Sarah feels satisfaction by seeing Mr. Winston begging like this. She exits, leaving Mr. Winston behind, and his heart with heavy regret.
Dad, I can't stop thinking about her. It's tearing me apart.
Mr. Winston told everything to Smith.
I'm so sorry, Smith. You're facing the consequences of my actions. I can't see you in this situation. I'm going to apologize to Sarah. Dad, you hurt her. Now she's gone. And I don't know how to live with that.
Mr. Winston struggles to find the right words to comfort his son.
I can't stay here, surrounded by all of this emptiness. Smith, please, don't leave. I need you here with me. I'm sorry, Dad, but I need to do this.
With a heavy heart, Smith rises from his seat and makes his way to the door, leaving Mr. Winston alone in his study room.
Sarah, I need to talk to you. I know he treated you poorly in the past, but what's my mistake? I genuinely love you. Why are you punishing me?
He humiliated me in front of everyone. I lost my job because of him. I can't just forget about that. I don't have any feelings for you. I was just using you to hurt your dad. Now go away. Smith felt so heartbroken by the words of his true love. He started to feel pain in his chest.
I don't feel well.
Smith, what's wrong?
I think I'm having a heart attack.
Smith collapses to the ground unconscious as Sarah rushes to call for emergency assistance.
Please, Sarah, hear me out. Now, I was blind to the consequences of my behavior, and I'm filled with shame for how I treated you.
It's not easy to forget what happened, Mr. Winston.
Smith is my son, and I love him dearly. Despite my failings as a father, please spare him from bearing the weight of my mistakes.
Sarah fell into deep thinking as she was having feelings for Smith. Seeing Smith in pain was burdening her under the weight of her own regrets. I've been so focused on seeking revenge and holding on to my anger, I haven't realized the weight it's been putting on me. I don't want to carry that burden anymore. It sounds like you're ready to forgive them, Sarah. I think I am, Amma. Holding on to my anger was only hurting me in the end. I don't want to let it consume me anymore. I'm proud of you, Sarah. Thank you, Amma. And there's something else I need to admit. I think I've been denying my feelings for Smith for too long. Sarah decided to forgive Mr. Winston and to accept her feelings for Smith. I've been doing a lot of thinking while you were in the hospital, and I've come to realize something important.
What is it, Sarah?
I love you, Smith. I've been denying my feelings for too long, but I can't deny them anymore. I want to be with you, now and forever.
Oh, Sarah,
You've made me the happiest man alive. They share a tender kiss, filled with love and promise for the future. Meanwhile, Mr. Winston enters the room.
I'm so sorry to both of you. I've come to realize that everyone, rich or poor, deserves to be treated with kindness and respect.
Dad, I'm glad to hear you say that. It means a lot to us.
I want to make amends for my past mistakes, Smith. Sarah, I want to be a better person, not just for my sake, but for the sake of everyone around me.
We believe in you, Mr. Winston. They share a heartfelt embrace filled with forgiveness and hope for a brighter future. Forgiveness and love have the power to heal even the deepest wounds, while true wealth lies in treating others with kindness and respect.